Oh, hello YouTube. Today on the Naughty Librarian, I am going over my March TBR list. I have some really good stuff on deck for March. I know I say that every month, but I'm excited every month that I have good things I'm going to be reading. There's a lot of fun stuff. Some of them are chunky books, and some of them are just books I just want to read just because. So let's get into what's on deck for March. First things first, we're going to talk about book club for my patrons and channel members. And for the first time ever, there is a literal tie between two books. Like, I've never had a tie happen before. So, you know what? I'm going to read both of them. And then you guys can pick and choose which one you want to read or both. We're just going to do two books. First book I'm going to be reading for book club is Daughter of No Worlds by Carissa Broadbent. I have been meaning to read this book for probably about a year now, and I kept meaning to do it. I really did, and then I just never did it. And now so many other people are starting to read it right now that I feel like, you know what, maybe it's the universe telling me I should probably finally get to reading this. So luckily y'all want to read it with me. And this one is totally giving me like Sarah J. Maas vibes. It's just all of that, but kind of like a bit Roman inspired, I would say. So there's this woman, her name is Tisana, and she was enslaved. And she saved up enough to buy her freedom, but like she barely escapes with her life when she goes to buy her freedom. And in escaping, she had to leave her friend behind. She's like, I gotta go back for my friend. So I need backup. She joins the order, right? And it's like a magic users guild, and she has to like have an apprenticeship. And the guy she's studying with is named Maxentarius. And of course, they kind of have like a romance situation happening between them. And she has to, you know, sacrifice it all to save her friend. One of those things. It feels very much like Throne of Glass, that whole series. And you know what? I like the Throne of Glass series, so I'm kind of excited to read it. I know it's a chonker though. Like, this is a long book, so I'm excited. I think it's gonna be a good time overall. So the other book in the tie for book club is The Perfect Crimes of Marion Hayes by Cat Sebastian. To be simple about the plot here, it's basically be gay, do crime, and I'm here for that. You have Marion Hayes. She is a duchess, and she shoots her no good dirty husband who deserves it, and the only person she can really ask for help is this guy named Rob Brooks. And he's a con man. He's been blackmailing Marion to keep some secrets of hers. And she shows up one night covered in her husband's blood, and she's like, you need to help me. And so they go kind of on like a road trip chase around London, doing like, you know, stuff like over drinking, partying, stealing stuff, rescuing invalid cats, all that kind of stuff. And they're gonna fall in love along the way, and I'm very into it. So yes, I am so excited for this one. I think it's gonna be so delightful, basically. I think it's gonna be so fun. I don't know. I love the cover. I love the premise. I think it's gonna be really fun to read. So it's kind of also cool that we're reading two very different books. Like, they're both technically romances, but one's like very much a fantasy romance. This one is like historical, be gay, do crime. Very different books. So I think it's gonna be fun. And I am also continuing on my Anne Rice journey, of course, and I'm gonna read Taltos. This is the last book in the Mayfair Witches trilogy. After the first two books, I am horrified. Like, I don't know what's gonna happen here. Like, the first book was wild, okay? And then the second book was like, oh, you thought that was wild, hold my beer. And it got even more nuts. And then this one, I'm like, how are they gonna top that one? That was bonkers. So I'm worried about what's gonna happen in this. But the good part of this, it is also the shortest book of the series. Don't get me wrong, it's still a chonker of a book, but it's 467 pages. Considering the first book is about 1,000, this is breezy. And it's, I don't know, it's just gonna be what it's gonna be. I'm gonna read it, I'm gonna do my full recap on it. I don't know, wish me luck. It's gonna be a lot. Also on deck, I have a couple books from February that I just didn't find time to read. And I'm so mad because like I didn't read Monroe again. Like, I have been putting this book off for like literally a year at this point. I don't know what's wrong with me that I keep putting it off, because like I want to read it. so bad, and like I just don't do it. What is wrong with me? This is Monroe. It's by Kresley Cole. She wrote the Immortals After Dark series. This is the latest book in that series, and we've been waiting like 5 years for it. Well, now like 6 for me. But he's a werewolf. His mate is human and a hunter of werewolves. So like, how are these crazy kids gonna work it out? And I am very excited to read it, even though I keep not reading it. But I can't let myself keep doing that. So like, it's happening in March, okay? I said I was gonna do it in February, it didn't happen. I'm gonna force myself to do it in March. Force is maybe the wrong word, but like, I'm gonna make it happen. And speaking of werewolves, the other book I didn't end up reading in February, which I thought I was going to, is Big Bad Wolf by Suleika Snyder. And this is kind of like legal drama, but with werewolves, because we have this werewolf. He killed these mob guys who like hurt his brother, and now he's in trouble with the law, and his lawyer's trying to help him with sexy results. I went over this last month. I'm not doing like a whole like synopsis again, but I've been wanting to read this for a long time, and I still haven't done it yet again. So it's on deck for March. And I got a whole bunch of books that are basically sequels, so I'm pretty excited about those, continuing on those series. So to start things off, I got Radiant Sin by Katie Robert. This is the most recent book in the Dark Olympus series, which I have been very much enjoying. They're delightfully smutty, and they're based off like Greek mythology. This one in particular is Apollo and Cassandra. And I mean, that wasn't the best myth. Like I know in the myth, Apollo, he curses Cassandra with the ability to be able to see the future, but no one would ever believe her. You know, that it's a shitty fate, because I think she rebuffed him. And in this book, I'm assuming it's different, because they're like fake dating. And Apollo, he's like a spy, and he's trying to get like secrets, and like she's helping, and then like they're gonna fall in love. And I'm assuming there's no cursing here. I don't know, maybe there is, maybe not, I don't know, but I am excited for it. I always really liked that myth in general, and I think this is going to be delightfully smutty and action-packed, because it's like a spy drama as well, and like your girl loves a good spy drama. So I'm very excited for this one. I think it's gonna be really good. Also, it's fake dating, which I love. I am also finally going to be reading The Stolen Heir by Holly Black. I have been wanting to read this. It came out, I think, in January. I just didn't get to it yet. This is kind of a spin-off of the Elfhame series, the first series with Cruel Prince. And I have been very excited to see where this goes. This is taking place about 8 years later. And we're following Oak, the little boy who is now all grown up. And he is on a mission that will take him to the Ice Needle Citadel, which is, taking over a bit. I think they're planning some revenge, trying to make a grab for power. And he needs the help of Surin, who was, at one point when they were like little kids, betrothed to each other. But Surin has been hiding out in the mortal world, hiding away from her mother at the Ice Needle Palace, because she is doing evil stuff and like creating monsters and eldritch terrors to take over the world. But he's like, hey, you should help me. We gotta go to the Ice Needle Citadel. And she's like, I don't want to do that, but I guess I have to. It might be more of like an enemies to lovers type of situation. And I've just been really excited to go back to Elfhame, because I loved The Cruel Prince. I thought it was very good. I will admit the series did have diminishing returns overall, but like I still really love that series. So I am excited to see what Holly Black is going to do next with these characters. I'm assuming we're also going to get more Jude and Carden. They're probably going to make cameos at least. So very excited for this one. Also, I have this chonker of a book. I have Chain of Thorns by Cassandra Clare. This is the finale to the Last Hour series. So this is like early 1900s. It's kind of bridging that gap between like the Clockwork Princess series and, now I'm assuming they could make other Shadowhunter books in there. And there were so many cliffhangers in Chain of Iron, the book that came out before this one. So I'm like, what is gonna happen? Like everything was like at a mess. Like we're following Cordelia Carstairs mainly, and she just had everything crumble around her. Like, I don't want to give spoilers for the previous book. It's really hard because this is the end of a trilogy, so just take it for my word for it. Like, shit got real for Cordelia, so she has run off. She is traveling Europe with Matthew, who is my favorite character. I am horrified about what Cassandra Clare is going to do to him. I feel like this is a dead character walking. I haven't read this yet, but like I have been thinking that since the beginning of the series, and I'm very scared they're gonna hurt my baby Matthew. But I'm gonna read this one. It is a chunk and a half. Like, how long is this? Good Lord. Okay, so this is like 778 pages, and then there's a few pages in the back here, which is just like a bonus little short story. So still, chunk of a book. It is so thick. Like, these books are always so thick. Like, I can't with it. But yeah, I'm gonna read it. It's the finale of that like series, and I'm very excited about it. I know. It's weird. Like, I don't like the main like Mortal Instruments series. I didn't like it that much, but I like all the spin-off series. I don't know. It is what it is. The last up, I just got 2 other books. Like, I don't really have like a category for them. First things first, I have Secretly Yours by Tessa Bailey. This is gonna be my palate cleanser book because it's just like a fun rom-com, and I need those for palate cleansing purposes. I have a lot of chonkers here, including one by Anne Rice, so like I'm gonna need it. This is kind of more of an enemies to lovers, like childhood friends to lovers type of situation here. This is Hallie and Julian, right? When they were kids, they kind of maybe had like a flirtation with each other, but nothing came of it. Flash forward to now. Julian had been gone for a while. He comes back to his family's winery. It takes place on a winery, which I'm also very excited about. And he's like a starchy professor. He's trying to write a novel, and there's Hallie there. She is like a landscaper, garden architect, I suppose, and she has like been hired to redo like all of like the gardens at the Voss estate. And then like a grump sunshine dynamic plays out here. Hallie is just so like sunshine and like happiness, and then Julian's very grumpy, and she gets under his skin, and then he starts to like fall in love for real, and like I'm very into it. It's just gonna be a fluffy rom-com, and it's gonna be smutty. Tessa Bailey writes A+ smut, so like I'm very excited about it. I think it's gonna be very, very fun. Last up on deck, I have The Genesis of Misery by Neon Yang. And I am so excited for this one. This is like Joan of Arc in space. Tell me no more, take my money. Like, that's how I feel about it. And I'm just gonna like read you like this little sentence because I feel like this sums it up. It's a reimagining of Joan of Arc's story given a space opera giant robot twist. The Null Void Chronicles is a story about the nature of truth, the power of belief, and the interplay of both in the stories we tell ourselves. So tell me no more. I'm already super excited about this one. I don't read nearly enough sci-fi, so I always get kind of really excited when I find a sci-fi that I'm super into, because it's like, it's the genre I just never get super into sci-fi. I don't know why. So when I find a good one, I get very excited about it. So yeah, pretty pumped about this one. I think it's gonna be super cool. All right, so that was what's on deck for March. Hopefully I'm going to get to all of them. Fingers crossed, we'll find out. But overall, I think these are a lot of really, really good picks. A lot of like sequels to series that I've been very excited for. I'm gonna be reading Tall Tales. Wish me luck. It's gonna be a lot. And like, this is the first time our book club has had 2 winners. It's a literal tie. Who knew? So yeah, it's gonna be a good month overall. I'm very excited about it. Let me know in the comments down below, what are you reading in March? Are you reading something very interesting or something that like you keep meaning to get to and you never get to and you're finally getting to it? Let me know in the comments down below. If you like this video, make sure you give it a like. And if you want to see more videos, make sure you subscribe. And if you want cool exclusive content, including early access to videos and a book club, you can consider becoming a channel member or a patron. Links for that are in the description down below. And on that note, I will see you guys soon. Goodbye.